Greetings, gentlemen. I'm remaking my game jam game and adding things that were initially planned to be added, but weren't due to high ambitions and poor understanding of game development. One of those features was random level generation. We wanted to add some roguelike elements to our game to make it more unpredictable and interesting to play. But in the end of the day, we didn't have time to even consider creating a proper level generation system. And looking at it now, after I've learned how hard it is to actually make a good level generation, it was definitely a good thing. I mean, if I tried doing it back then, I probably would be extremely disappointed in my own skills. But let's get to the actual stuff. Level generation, how does it work, how did I make it, how much I sacrificed to achieve the desired result. By the way, I'll leave godot demo project with level generation in the description, so you can download it, take a look at the code and maybe add it to your own game. So, there are many different types of 2D random level generation, but I was mainly choosing between two options. Level generation like in the Enter the Gungeon, where rooms are connected with these long corridors, and the Binding of Isaac-like level generation, where there are no corridors and all rooms are separated exclusively by doors, and after going through a door, you enter the next room. I decided to go with the Isaac-like level generation because it's one of my favorite roguelike games and I wanted to learn how to recreate it in Godot, the game engine I use. As any professional game developer, I started working on the level gen by searching for a YouTube tutorial. I watched several videos, got the basic understanding of how level gen should work, and then I found this incredible video which provided the code I could adjust to my needs, but it's just not exactly what I needed. So, after stealing this poor guy's code and adjusting code here and there, I got this. And it's already really promising. So how does it actually work? This level generation method is called the Drunken Walker. If you also think this name is destroy this like button. So I've made a little presentation to explain it better. This grid is like a x and y axis graph. A so-called walker is created and starts moving in one of four directions: left, right, up or down. The direction is randomly selected before each step. If the same direction is chosen several times in a row, it will randomly pick a different direction to avoid repetition. The number of steps determines the number of rooms, as each step marks a future room's position. After each step, the walker records its coordinates in an array to track its path. Once all steps are taken, the walker sends the room's positions to the level generation script and deletes itself. Then level generation script creates rooms with corresponding coordinates. However, this method still needs some improvement. The level layouts I currently got is not exactly what I've been looking for. Sometimes this level generation results in layouts that are simply too boring, and boring is bad. So I've started digging how the Binding of Isaac level gen actually works, and I've come across this article. It was exactly what I've been looking for. And the author of this article also provided a demo with JavaScript code, which I adapted for my game, I'd say. Jokes aside, this guy has saved me lots of time. Thank you, Boris. I appreciate it. So, the results are beautiful, but I won't show them to you until you sit for another lecture. To improve this level gen, I just need to keep track of such things as length of the hallways and the amount of dead-end rooms. Also, I have to set the maximum possible length of hallways and minimum possible number of dead ends. I've come to the conclusion that the maximum length of hallway should be at least 4, because lower numbers might cause the level generator to lag and stop working. The number of dead ends should be calculated using this formula, but it should max out at 15, cause as the number of rooms increases, the code starts lagging when trying to generate a level with the required number of dead ends. It starts to lag at around 50 rooms, and although I highly doubt I'll need to create a level this big, it's a good practice to take some measures in advance. So now, generally, layouts look like this. And this is just wonderful. By the way, if you ever played Isaac, you probably know there are also these big rooms and corridor rooms. I haven't added them to my level generation system simply because I don't believe it's necessary right now. I might expand it later and add different types of rooms, but for now, I'm okay with what I got. But let's get back to the level gen. Right now, layouts are cool, yeah. But every room on this level is the same, and I need different normal rooms, a treasure room with an upgrade, and a boss room. Special rooms like boss room and treasure room should be the dead-end rooms. So I decided to update the script, and now after the walker touches the grass, he'll go through the whole layout, find positions of every dead-end room, and then send them to the main script, along with the positions of every room in the layout, dead ends included. And before creating normal rooms, which will be the majority of a level, it starts by creating special rooms. So the boss room, the treasure room, and the starting room. It's also kinda special. So I started by creating the starting room. There are two ways to decide which of the rooms will be the starting point, either by choosing the initial walker position or by selecting it randomly from any room in the layout that is not the dead end. I've included both in my code, but I prefer the second option. Then goes the boss room. Boss room will be the dead end room, but I need to choose which of the dead ends will become the boss room. I've decided to go with the most obvious approach. The furthest dead end from the start room will be the boss room. And to choose which room will become the treasure room, I simply choose random dead end room. After creating any of the special rooms, I remove their positions from the rooms array to prevent overlap when adding the normal rooms to the level. Now let's get to the normal rooms. I've made several room templates, and when I need to add a normal room to the level, I'll just choose randomly one of those rooms. And selecting which of the rooms I need for the level is literally as simple as dragging and dropping a room file into the appropriate field. Same goes for the number of rooms and number of treasure rooms, just in case. However, to add more randomness, I use the specified number of rooms and select the random number in this range. So now, I basically have a working level generation, but there is one last thing to add. Doors. And I won't add them right now. For now, I'll go with the simpler solution. I'll just make holes that will serve as doors. I do it by changing a certain part of a tile map with a different tile, based on neighboring rooms. So, as a result of all of the above, I get a working level generation with cool layouts and connected rooms. And I'm almost done. The only thing left is just to transfer this script to my main project. Okay, now I'll put my rooms here. And okay, I fixed it. Now it should work correctly. Finally. Stupid shit.